everybody? I'm Stitcharoo, and we're doing the DJ long form interviews. Oh, I found another DJ with me here. Which DJ are you?
Hi, I'm Midnight City. I play drum and bass.
Ah, the drummer bass. Hey, that's really cool. That's really cool. So, Midnight City, it's been a little minute since the Furality Somna, just a wee bit.
Yes.
How we wanted to get back with all of the DJs and kind of ask how their experiences were. How was it performing on that stage, seeing all your stuff up there, the visuals, the lights, the party people?
It
How, like,
was
tell us about that.
it was incredible. I didn't think, long story short, I didn't think I was going to get in this year. I kind of like last minute threw my submission in, and I was kind of like, whatever happens, happens, I'll be okay with it. And then everything hit the fan, and then all of a sudden I'm playing, and then 2 months later I'm like, whoa, there's my stuff. And it was absolutely incredible to say the least. It was awesome.
Tell us about working with like the AV team and the DJ team. Like,
Yeah.
how was that coordination on your
Yeah,
end?
so I had Dracorion as my lead, and I had, oh shoot, I can't remember everybody's names. I'm sorry in advance, guys. So I had John, and I forget. There's a lot of other people. Valent helped. There's just so many people involved with this project. It was really fun. Like, very first night when everybody got together, we all got hopped in a VC, and I'm like, all right, here's the deal. This is the dream, pun intended. Here's what I really want, and we squeaked out at the end. It was very close call.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And to make your production, tell us a little bit about your process. How did you come about making your set, getting it all ready and together?
Yeah, so the first thing obviously that we had to do was I had to make the set, and this year's theme was Somna, dreams, and I've been a huge like dream thematic guy. That's one of my favorite like thematics you can go into. Like, I love games like Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. You look at these isekai game or isekai animes and stuff like that. Sometimes they're dreams or associated with dreaming. So I really wanted to like kind of dial in with that, with this entire mix as well as the entire show. And so for me, it was mainly telling my story, how far I've come as a DJ, as well as the two different sides of the DJing that I have seen from myself so far.
The D as opposed to the J.
Exactly.
And what hardware or software did you use for that?
I use Virtual DJ Pro Edition for pretty much all the production. I had one of my friends, his name's Fish. He also played at Furality this year. He helped me with some of the more really technical stuff that I couldn't do myself, because I was running on a FLX4, which is a two mixer deck, and you can't really do a lot of complex stuff with that if you don't know how to use it. And I'm really dumb and I don't know how to use stuff, so I had to call on some help with some of the really complex stuff that I tried to do at during my set.
Very fun.
Yes, it was. Yeah, so I really enjoyed hanging out with everybody too. I shout out to Hubnoxious, aka Whisperings, and Fish. Those two were my rocks, or those two were my rock during the entire Furality process. There's a lot of self-doubt in doing the project, because
Imposter
I was,
syndrome is
yeah,
real.
huge imposter syndrome. I was in the process of moving down to Florida. I
Oh,
recently lost my job, and I was like, it was everything. Like I said, crap hit the fan. It was so being able to see the entire show done. All my friends and I are bawling our eyes out during the show. We're all crying during the entire thing, and being able to tell a story like my story was the bottom line for what I wanted to do for this Furality project.
Nice. What's something in the project that surprised you when you saw it all said and done?
Oh man. So one of my kind of, I want to say, iconic songs that I usually play is Holding On by Icy Monsters, the Skrillex and Nero remix. And I called on somebody who I never thought I'd have to call on again. It was one of my friends. His name's Out of Order. He's a video editor who used to work for me, and we used to work together way back when I did content creation. And I'm like, hey, dude, I'm doing something for charity. Could you make me an edit? And he did COD edits for a really long time. So
What's a COD
he
edit?
a COD like Call of Duty edit, like a Call of Duty like
Ah,
sniper montage, like old
got it.
school, like phase, old stuff.
I
So
thought you would fish for a moment. I was all like,
no, 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 no. So I called on him. I called him and I'm like, hey, dude, can you do this for me? And he's like, dude, I got you, bet. So like 2 days later, we had a montage to Holding On. And I remember posting the teaser in the Froudy DJ chat, and Johari went absolute crazy. Like he was like, "Oh my gosh, is that actually going in?" I'm like, "Yes." And being able to see that on it was the best thing ever because I think that brought a lot of nostalgia back to like the old PC era days or the old console era days. So
you need that old meme.
nostalgia
Oh my
kick.
god.
Yes.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about like yourself. Like how did
Mhm.
you end up spinning?
I started spinning after I dropped out of college in 2016. I went into college right fresh out of high school thinking it was going to be the best thing ever. It's going to be really easy. It wasn't. There's a lot of self responsibility attached with that, and I didn't have that. So I flunked out, and that was the first time I really failed at something, and it was totally my fault. And so I fell into a really deep depression. I thought my parents hated me, and I was like, damn, this sucks. And so I really didn't have a really good way of expressing myself emotionally. And I really didn't have a good way of just being able to say, hey, this is how I'm feeling. And I was hanging out on a really, really old DJ site. I forget what it was called, but one of my friends there, his name is Zoop. I started putting playlists together that were like really, really complex musically in terms of like emotion as well as energy. And I was doing things that were DJing, but I didn't know I was DJing essentially. Like I was putting these plays together and then he'd be like, dude, you could mix this together. And I'm like, what do you mean mix this
What?
together? And he's like, you could DJ. And I'm like, what's DJing? And he's like, what, you don't know what DJing is? I'm like, no. So he bought me my first month of the pro license for virtual DJ.
Oh wow.
And then I bought an old Behringer controller that I still have. And I started DJing and I was really bad. And so eventually I got okay at it. We came up with a project together called Mazcab, which is the first official project that I did DJing, and it was really popular on Mixcloud, as well as a couple other sites. And eventually, I started performing on a site called Crew TV. That was up for a couple years. I was partnered on there for a couple years, and then that shut down. And then I moved over to Twitch, and it kind of combined everything with like gaming as well as music as well. And yeah, that's how I got started. It's a really long story.
Fair enough, fair enough. But that's cool that you had people that you could rely on
Oh yeah.
and harness your skills and kind of show you the ropes.
Yes.
These are beats. This is how to count
Yeah,
to 4.
this is what EDM this is EDM. Have you heard of Martin Garrix before?
It's all I'm a Barbie girl all the way down.
Oh my.
So on that, when you were getting your start and stuff like that, if there's enough like a lot of people really want to start DJing,
Mhm.
and we're a community about reaching out, lifting people
Yeah.
up, and stuff like that. Tell us like a piece of advice that you could give someone looking to get into spinning music.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm pretty bad at giving advice, so take what I have with a grain of salt. If I had to give myself some advice when I first started like doing stuff in the fandom, it would be don't limit yourself, experiment around, find what you really like to do because there's a difference between having music that you like listening to and then having music you can dance to. And I find that well, I try to find the even balance between the 2 because, there's some music that I just like to listen to and not DJ or mix, and then there's a lot of music I like to dance to and that I wanna mix, but I can't. So finding that nice balance to where you enjoy all the music that you're playing and making sure that it's fun for you as a person because essentially DJing is for your own person, not for other people. That's how I view it. People latch onto you and your music,
You gotta
but
do what you love.
finding being able to love what you do and love the music that you play, I think that's probably the most important part of DJing.
Plus, you're going to be listening to each individual piece of music
Correct.
over and over. So you gotta be able to like it, because if you start hating it, you're not going to mix well.
Yep.
Whereas I like to say the music that I play, they're like, Stitcharoo, why do you play this music? It's like, this is stuff I sing to in the shower.
That doesn't surprise me.
And last little bit, Midnight City, where can we find you and your music?
Yee. So you can find me anywhere on Midnight City. You can find Midnight City anywhere at Midnight City TV. That's just Midnight City TV with and you can find me anywhere: Twitter, Blue Sky, YouTube, Twitch, Mixcloud, like anywhere. Just Midnight City TV.
Yeah, Midnight City, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with us. We learned a lot. We had a lot of fun.
Yee.
So, yeah, I think I'll let you go. And everybody, thanks for watching.
Aurora.